We are. I hope I don't run out of battery in this thing before the finish. I don't know. This race is going to be exciting, and I don't really have the battery, I don't think, to make it to the end. Could run down in the basement, grab an extension cord for a charger, but I think that would be pretty excessive. Alright, does Paris win today? He's like P5, I think. Is he behind Leclerc? I don't know where he is. He might be P4, actually. P4. Okay. Get ready for a Lewis win today. It's probably going to happen because of third place's luck winning here. We'll see. Items here around the brake drum, around the rear. It's not off because there's an issue with it. It's all on and it's working now. It's off because they're trying to keep everything cool as they put the engine up. Look at the size of it. Ted already reporting on car issues. Right into the radiator itself. Not alone in this. All of these cars absolutely on the limit cooling. Yeah, problem this afternoon. It's going to be, isn't it? We talked about it, but let's just go back to it for those that might just cheer now. Hamlin's going to win the race today. So glad I have a reason to not watch that NASCAR race. Position 3 led into turn 1 last year. It was a very good move by Verstappen, but Hamilton set in what I would think a great position. He's got something to Max Verstappen. Where does George Russell fall in that? George gets a good start. I think somehow the Red Bull would out-drag them down into the first corner. But I think Mercedes, what they mustn't allow themselves to do is trip over each other. If they trip over each other, they're going winded into trying to fight that Red Bull, and that Red Bull's so dominant. So they've got to work together. They've got a strong car. It's been on form all weekend, and they really could put Red Bull all the way to the end of his Prix and split it. Do we get 2 Red Bulls and a Mercedes? 3 wide into 1 again. This could be interesting. This could be a crazy start today. I also think this is one of the tracks that really... I feel that the first sector here really benefits this new car. So, even though it is a very hot day with the sound of it, I think we're going to see some chaos in Sector 1 today. Some good racing. Talking about what George was saying about strategy so important today. Might not get it done on the track, might have to be done in the pit stops. Is the case, do you think? I don't understood the word. What's your best chance of victory today? Put it simply. I think toe. I found out the Red Bull is fast on the straight by about 5K. But if we're still able to catch the toe, we could be in the lead, and I think that's the way of the best chance to win. Here we go. How are you guys handling the cooling? Is everything under control there? No, never. I think there's so marginal. We put the biggest cooling solution. Less than 9 minutes. You're a great leader. Quickly, what have you told your team to do today? When everybody bought on that we are going aggressive, which might mean that one of the cars could be done over and both of them go for the victory. Tom, thanks. So we'll get back to your team. So here we are then. What now? atmosphere. What a crowd. Perfect conditions today for this Grand Prix. Max Verstappen is on the pole position. However, George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, can they work together to overtake him? And where does Sergio Perez stand here at his home?
George and Hamilton seem like they get along well off the track, but recently I feel like, I don't know. I'm starting to feel tension building. I don't know why.
I'm genetically predisposed, so we created
Especially George. He does not seem like the same person he was last year. He seems a lot more...
Get started at Nutrafol.com/.
I'm trying to find the right word. Seems more arrogant.
Meals that meet your wellness goals without sacrificing flavor. Choose from easy prep meal options that make your whole routine easier, like 600.
I don't know. Still not as interesting of a rivalry as Rosberg versus Hamilton, though. That was something else.
To get $110 off.
Easy credit building, early payday, fee-free overdrafts. It's banking the way it should be. Chime, the #1 most loved banking app.
Everyone is ready for Monday Night Football.
Joe Burrow. He's playing tomorrow night. Oh.
AFC North treat on Halloween.
Oh, no, they're playing.
The Bengals offense is ready to be scary good.
I saw Travis Kelce, the back of his jersey, when they were showing, I think it was Joe again. Yeah, it's Cleveland versus Cincinnati. I swear to God, if we lose that, I won't be happy. Steelers lost, now the Bengals are going to lose. It's a bad week. And yesterday also happened.
For those of you watching F1 on Sky Q and Sky Glass, then Sky Radio allows you to quickly catch up on all
This reminds me so much of an ad you see on an airplane.
So if you join the 8 and have missed any of the action, or simply want to
You know, like how those airplanes, the ones that have TVs, they have like the ads with that music.
do is hit the red
Or not even the ad. It might be an ad. I don't know. Why would they be advertising their company if you're already, if ever, I don't know what they are. Like, it's airplane music.
whether it's before, during, or after the race, Sky Sports F1 is the go-to destination for all the best F1 news, views, and action. Time to go racing then, here in Mexico City. And from on the outside, incredible! There is the checkered flag. Gerhard Berger won his first Grand Prix. Max Verstappen wins the Mexican Grand Prix. For the first time ever, a Mexican driver on the podium in his home race. Very classic split. That's Nigel Mansell spun off.
My God. Season ends for F1 in like 3 weeks.
Lewis Hamilton
And we go back to that place. Crofty forgot to say that line this year. I'm really sad. Maybe he'll do it in Abu Dhabi. Oh yeah, here we go. %. Lost 3% battery in the last 9 minutes. I should make it through the race, but I'm not sure how much of NASCAR I'm going to be able to. Honestly, I probably won't even catch the end of the NASCAR race at this rate. We're just starting the final stage. Maybe I'll catch the final 10 laps or something. It is Martinsville after all. If it's anything like yesterday, I'll catch the entire end of it. I'll catch the final restart. Oh, caution for Keselowski. We don't care about NASCAR.
For the Mexico City Grand Prix, we race at this track for the 22nd time in a World Championship Grand Prix. 60 years since we first came here in a non-championship race. It's a weekend of celebration wherever you look, and a carnival atmosphere and packed crowds too. 372,000, just under, packing into the circuit throughout the weekend, and the name of Checo has been chanted by 372,000. fans, trust me. 2.67 miles this circuit, third shortest on the calendar, and we packed 3 DRS zones into it to
Third
give us
shortest.
chances of overtaking.
My mind just kind of went blank. I'm trying to think of the two short. It's obvious. I know it. Monaco, Austria. Right? No, not Austria. Is it Austria? Wait, tracking the laps are based off of length, right? So just got to think of how many laps each race is. It would be Austria. There's an Interlagos. Doesn't really matter, honestly. Alright, second shortest track is either Austria or Interlagos. I think it's Brazil just because Austria seems like a longer track. It's just really fast.
The C4 soft, the C3 the medium, and the C2 the hard. Now Pirelli say it's a 2-stop race. The team say could be a 1-stop race. Mixture of strategies maybe
could be interesting.
Risk of rain later in the day at about 40%. Here then is the starting grid.
Wait a minute, it's Mexican, the music. Okay, that's actually kind of cool.
The two Williams were the slowest qualifiers, plus the Tiffy 18th and Alex Albon 17th. Ahead of these comes Mick Schumacher and Sebastian Vettel, setting identical times. Mick his first, that's why he's ahead.
They should have went for a heavy metal vibe last week then, if they're really going to do this. It would have been awesome.
Knew his best qualifying since the summer break. Two Alpines line astern. Fernando Alonso into Q3 here for the first time ever, just ahead of his teammate Ocon. Charles Leclerc starts 7th. Lando Norris is 8th, and that leaves his best start in Mexico City. Valtteri Bottas, his best start.
This is going to be an interesting one. That's for sure. I think this race could be better than last week's race, which is the second best race of the year so far. This will obviously be the best race if the man starting second, George Russell, finds his way to win to the top step of the podium, you know?
Different circuit, he's taken pole position on. Carlos Sainz all went wrong for him. Martin Brundle at the first corner. Will we get something similar today, I wonder, for the pole sitter?
Well, we know that
Happened last year. Didn't Bottas have pole last year?
well, 6th fastest.
He was also out of it by turn 1.
The top 6, apart from Valtteri Bottas, has split the Ferraris to make that the top 7. And they will not want to yield anything. They know it's a key element.
Wait, there's the Ferrari down in 7th?
First corner. Max wanted to just go fast.
Oh yeah, there must be. Who's starting where? Was Sainz 5th? Or was Leclerc? I don't know.
A Red Bull size hole in the air for everybody else behind him. And of course, that accumulative effect for the grid behind the front runners in terms of the slipstream is why we see them all fanning.
All right. Lance Stroll is dead last, so we won't have to worry about him starting something on this opening lap here by blocking.
A high risk, high reward strategy going down there. 800 meters. Of course, your front brakes, your front tires are not where they need to be for grip.
Whew.
Your rear tires are left.
I'm nervous. Then again, I always am nervous at the beginning of an F1 race. Because standing starts with open wheel cars are scary. NASCAR is really the only series I'm not scared for the starts. Now that I think of it. Even in like endurance racing, stuff happens down at turn 1. Even if it's a 24-hour race. People go for it like it's the last lap on lap 1 in turn 1. In F1, you know, and IndyCar too, they're just open wheel cars. Indy cars on ovals, well, they're probably not too bad, except for Indianapolis, because, you know, 3 wide start and everything. NASCAR's not bad at all.
Mercedes.
When was the last time we got a lap 1 accident in NASCAR?
Probably about half of that.
We get one this year?
But
I don't think we have, right?
interesting. What the Mercedes do have is
I remember there was one at Talladega
as to
a
when
couple of
they
years ago.
stop,
It wasn't last year because I watched it live and I watched that race live.
I think all the teams are going to read this race after the first lap or two. Where do they end up in the middle?
Oh boy.
And then read the race and see how far the tyres are going.
We've had a safety car here fairly consistently 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 21. So we've had a safety car in the last 6
Oh yeah,
races
that's
here.
right. Mercedes on the. This could be interesting. Paris could very well be P2 or even probably not first, but he could be P2 by turn 1. I don't see how not getting in front of Verstappen as soon as possible isn't the strategy.
Yeah, a safety car, which is good.
Big cheers from the crowd.
I don't see this working for Mercedes. I don't think playing alone is going to work.
And towards the final couple of corners. 6 for Alfa Romeo. 31 Romeo with
Beat Max down to turn 1 and then pass him.
Romeo won a race.
Stupid thing ain't loading well. Hamilton and Elliott still 1-2. I am literally missing nothing in NASCAR from the sound of it.
7 laps of winning. Can he go one better today? And his teammate George Russell.
Here we go.
First victory in Formula 1.
Forming up.
Continue his winning streak. Can Sergio Perez get that win that he's always dreamt of? What a Ferrari got to offer as well after a qualifying where DRS and engine issues rather plagued their pace. An awful lot of stories up and down the grid. The last 2 stragglers, Kevin Magnussen and Lance Stroll, make their way into their final placings.
You want to stay left as long as you can. Stay on the cleaner side of the track.
Here we go.
Your position.
So there's the scene. Verstappen on the right-hand side, George Russell on the left-hand side. Bernd Mailander, the safety car will be watching on. The medical car is
There are nerves. What's going to happen?
Mexico City.
Start.
Lewis Hamilton already catching his teammate George Russell, who's trying to get that slipstream behind Verstappen.
Oh, they're all in a line already. Get ready for this.
To his side, now Hamilton
George pulls out.
and tries to get down the inside. Verstappen holds him off and into the lead from George Russell. Then comes Lewis Hamilton, being challenged by
Oh, George.
who has to brake hard before he goes into the back of the Mercedes of Russell. Hamilton trying to squeeze his way
Yikes.
into second place.
How'd they all make that work? Oh no, George is under pressure. Oh, George is down into 4th already. This race is over for him.
I think there was contact between Russell and the Red Bull down there in turn 2. And that's what's put Russell on back foot. The 2 Ferraris side by side. They're so eager to get at the Mercedes-Benz of Russell.
So Sergio Perez up into 3rd place.
That was calmer than what I was expecting. I won't lie.
Verstappen versus Hamilton as through the S's section.
Oh my God, they're 1-2 again. Come on, we need Lewis catch Max.
Valtteri Bottas has dropped a couple of places. Ocon has moved up 1 and Norris has gone down a couple of places too. And Williams already overtaken by Magnussen, Schumacher and Vettel.
Alright, I can turn this down now, right? The start's over. Oh man. He has a chance and that happens.
They all got through, but I'm hearing from Paul at Sky Race Control. But I think it was maybe Russell bouncing over the curb. There wasn't actually quite any contact between him and Verstappen.
And what a lead Max Verstappen has built up in the first lap. 1.3 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Then comes Sergio Perez, George Russell, and then the Ferraris. Leclerc, Sainz, and then Leclerc getting very close to the McLaren there with Yuki Tsunoda. As we see Alex Albon ahead of his teammate Nicholas Latifi, the 2 Williams running right at the back.
What's the chance of rain? Could we just get a couple of on and off pop-up showers interrupting this thing?
That's not the start that Valtteri Bottas was looking for.
You know, make it like a 5-stopper. Just really blow up the entire field.
We'll see who's got the straight line speed.
That won't matter for Max Verstappen if he can keep a second ahead of Lewis Hamilton. So there or thereabouts with him currently on lap 2. That gap not growing. It was 1.3 seconds at the end of the first lap, and Hamilton just got dipped below that by a few fractions on this particular. Sergio Perez running a very nice 3rd place, and George Russell losing touch a little bit to Sergio Perez.
Come on, George.
Science and play.
You can't let this happen, man.
Because with grid penalties and incidents on the first lap and what have you, we got the fastest 6 cars running in the
It'll
top
happen
6.
eventually, though.
Absolutely. Been waiting for
George will win his win his first race. He'll win his world championship over Lewis, probably.
The second lap has now led his 500th lap. Morris, a little look on Esteban Ocon going into turn 1, but nothing doing on that particular occasion. But yeah, 200 laps to go at the start of this race. Verstappen wants to lead away and got, I think, the best reaction too, Martin.
Yeah, everybody got away pretty well. And Max moved over to the right-hand side to try to break the slipstream. That worked perfectly for George Russell. And then you can see Perez there
So
trying
what
to
happened?
get up the inside of Hamilton.
He got a huge run. He settled in, but he gave Lewis room.
I thought there might have been contact in the middle there between him and Perez, but there wasn't. I think he jumped a little bit way.
George, you should have made that stick.
And then allowed Sergio Perez to come at him down to turn 4.
And we can see there Perez swooping round ahead of the Mercedes before they went through that corner. We can look at the start now on board with Lewis Hamilton. Here the wheel spin, see the reaction time as well from the start. And I thought that we can't. They all got away pretty similar. We got the wheel spin, and now we see the benefit of the toe.
You want about 5% slip for the best traction off the line, and then let the engine settle down a little bit. So,
Are those mediums for George, or are they hard?
George hits too much curve, and then
They're mediums. That just camera is kind of dark.
Taking too much curve, Russell left the way open, didn't he, for his teammate?
He had settled his car as well. I'd imagine we're about to find out. So perfect for Russell. Max just happened to come over there to defend the inside line. You can see how dirty it is. He's got a slipstream, so he has to go. He's forced to make the move. And this allows his teammate up the inside. Lewis Hamilton's there alongside us. And that's where he has to then turn harder as well. To stay away from going into the side of his team. Through turn 3, and Perez gets the better drive. George very fairly gives him enough racing space to down the outside. And meanwhile, perfectly for the pole sitter, he's gone.
But you're also seeing there, Martin, in a straight track, that Red Bull has more pace than the Mercedes, doesn't it?
He did get better drive as well. Mercedes on the medium tyres.
There's the race. Only missed like a lap
Perez on the softs too.
because of replays.
Gone for a longer first stint here, you would imagine. And I was talking in the paddock this morning that these Pirelli medium tyres, if you nurse them enough, you might be able to get to lap 50 of this race, making a one-stop of medium and then soft, and having that much more pace towards the end of the race. We'll see what happens. There's DRS there for Valtteri Bottas behind Fernando Alonso. He had a little look, didn't he, towards the inside, but realised he was a bit too far back. Nothing doing in terms of an overtake. His teammate Joe Guan Yu has Daniel Ricciardo right behind him, and then something of a DRS train forming with Sebastian Vettel, Lance Stroll, Pierre Gasly and Mick Schumacher all within a second. Once again with Valtteri Bottas, more DRS at his disposal. That Alpine looks very wide, doesn't it, from that angle?
Yeah, Fernando's parking it right in the middle of the track, and that forced then Valtteri Bottas to move.
Okay, Valtteri, we're in a very good position here. Plan A, we need to stick to plan A.
So despite losing a couple of places, no need to rearrange the strategy for Valtteri Bottas.
How I read that is one stop, look after your tyres, and we're in this for the long haul. But I have to say, Fernando was parking his car right in the middle of the track, and as you could hear Valtteri,
You would have to.
coasting into the corner.
Not from what they just said, actually, with the tire wear.
Let's head down to you with Verstappen 1.3 seconds ahead as
I don't know.
the new fastest lap of the race.
Could Verstappen and Perez have to go for two stops here?
To close up on Lewis Hamilton, his engineer's doing that. I think Hamilton's just set the fastest lap of the race. Perez not yet within DRS range of Hamilton, but he's got difficult balancing act, hasn't he? Because Sergio wants to try and get these to as long as he can, look after them, but also he feels like he's got the pace on Hamilton to try and attack him. So Sergio's trying to get close. He's edging up on Hamilton, but only by a tenth or so a second per lap.
And when it comes to the pit stops, Martin, is it undercut here or is it overcut here? What works best, and what can Red Bull and Mercedes do to drag their opponents into a territory they don't want to go to?
Undercut's a little bit difficult, especially going on to the hard tyre. There, you come into the pits, put the hard tyre on. They take a bit getting up to speed, and they're not that fast, so you're not going to pit and come out and mug your rivals by being in front of them. It's not a clear cut to other tracks. You have to say, on those medium compound tyres, it is very interesting to see that it's 4.7 seconds between first and fourth, and Lewis Hamilton every bit as fast as he needs. But Max Verstappen will have to go in to a bit of tyre management mode now on those soft tyres.
Gap reduced by a couple of on that last lap. Hamilton was quickest through the sector in terms of himself and Max Verstappen. And you can see Sergio Perez there, about a second and a half, about 2.5 seconds behind Max Verstappen. Looking further down this very long straight here, they're all getting spread out a bit, but there are a few drivers with DRS. Valtteri Bottas to keep in touch with Fernando Alonso. Lando Norris locks up.
Lock up.
Past Esteban Ocon.
I thought that smoke was from a collision between that Alfa Romeo and McLaren.
Against McLaren there.
Joe and Ricardo.
It's kind of on the fringes of doing things once again. Let's see what can happen now. This is a lot closer to Joe Guan Yu. Down towards turn 4. He tries to go round the outside for the first part of this chicane.
Full switcheroo? No.
Oh,
here it goes. Double?
Ricardo now into turn 6.
No.
Almost spying a gap, but nothing doing there. And Sebastian Vettel just holding back, waiting to see how this unfolds a bit, to see if he can take advantage.
Yeah, Guan Yu left him a car's width on the outside and a little bit, so that was fair enough in that. So Daniel decided to try to swing around and take a tighter, neater line, but he couldn't get enough grip before the right tender turned up.
So, swapping faster sector types, Verstappen and Hamilton here through a section of track yesterday during the pole lap where the Mercedes looked stronger. That middle part of the track, through that S's, the Red Bull seems to have more pace at the moment. Swapping around a little bit during the race, but I'm sure the Mercedes will be happy in the position that they're in, because Verstappen will be stopping sooner because he's on the soft compound tyre. Down the straight we go. Lando Norris is a long way behind Esteban Ocon. His teammate is a lot closer to Joe Guan Yu. Wants to go down the inside. Daniel Ricciardo tried it, didn't quite work out. Lance Stroll has to defend against Pierre Gasly in the AlphaTauri. The two Aston Martins making a great
What happened to
start,
Daniel Ricciardo, the latest breaker in F1? What happened to that?
For the late breakers, try and get past Joe Guan Yu this time. He really is putting up a great fight, the young rookie from Shanghai.
And as soon as you touch the brakes,
You know what? Daniel got that name before Joe Guan Yu was even on the grid. Maybe that's what's happening.
As soon as you touch the brakes, it has to close. Obviously, you need outforce, you need the stability in the car at that point.
186 laps to go at Martinsville. Don't know if I'm going to be able to see any of that race.
It's 230th Grand Prix. Out in front, the gap just opened up a bit now. 1.6
I might just film a clip at the finish, if I can, just to get the views going. I need to upload more. I haven't uploaded a lot. It's becoming a problem. And the analytics are showing it. But I have no ideas.
Fernando said to me on the grid, I'm going to be managing from lap 2 onwards.
Yeah. Daniel Ricciardo is managing to use DRS to great effect. Can he get past at the third time of asking Joe Guan Yu? Yes,
There he goes. This is a double DRS zone, right?
For a while, seemed to have more straight line speed with
I
that
think it
DRS
is.
as well. Around about 12 miles an hour
Yep.
of extra pace down the race when he's managed to get his man, pick him off, and then use DRS to stay ahead as well.
Yeah, you're wondering why the wing was open on the McLaren out front. That's because you get a double helping there from one sensor. So that's why Daniel then had DRS again, despite being in front of his rival. So not only does that wing close when you touch the brakes, as soon as you lift off the throttle, it also closes.
Whoa.
And that was more of a mugging than an overtake.
Yeah, just a bit.
Is that Seb?
Ricardo, former podium sitter here. In
It was.
2016, up
No,
to,
it was Stroll.
12th place. race. Stroll still ahead of Gasly. Vettel now going after Joe Guan Yu on the soft compound tyre. But what about some strategy updates concerning the leading six? Paul di Resta is at Sky Race Control this afternoon. Paul.
Yeah, absolutely, Crofty. What they're trying to do is manage time in some corners and, take the hit in other corners. That's what the drivers have been told to do. But looking ahead to Mercedes, they're going to have to extend a long way into this race versus Red Bull, and of course make an impact with the softer tyre later on. Red Bull didn't benefit that tyre earlier on, so that's what they're always trying to balance out. Where's this going to play out? I'm surprised that Mercedes put both cars in the same strategy, actually, to fight them.
And surprised too that Red Bull did the same with their cars, because you think split strategy in a day of indecision up and down the pad, it might have been the best way forward.
I think Perez, though, that was all about getting track position, and I think it worked out in their favour for that.
Either way, sorry, Martin.
Far away.
I was going to say, lap 10, 1.7 seconds, pretty much the gap. Out in front, Sergio Perez about 2 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton, and George Russell started to gain a bit more on Perez.
Yeah, and Ferrari haven't really turned up to the races yet, have they? If they're sandbagging, they're doing a very convincing job.
I don't think they are. We're reporting engine issues yesterday for Charles Leclerc. I should have realised that Carlos Sainz...
Good, engine issues equal safety cars.
Because of his seventh start.
Ferrari's not going to stand a chance today, so...
10th, then 9th, then 8th, then 7th, then 6th, then 5th. It pretty much...
Do your thing, Ferrari engines.
Please, they're extended.
Do your thing.
It's a guaranteed victory, isn't it?
He'll get pulled if we get another contract extension. It's going to come for him. Along the main straight we ride with Valtteri Bottas, his best start since Miami earlier in the year. I think he's doing a really good job at the moment, Martin, of using the DRS to be towed along behind Fernando, but not getting too close to him.
Yeah, and he also pulled right, if you noticed, out of the slipstream to try to not drive through the hot discarded area, the Alpine. And you could see when we were on board with Valtteri a few laps ago, he was squeezing the throttle pedal out of turn 3 as if there was an egg underneath it you didn't want to break. Just really played the long game. And that, in and out of Alfa Romeo, you're not going to suddenly rock up and pass 2 Ferraris, 2 Mercedes and 2 Red Bulls. You are fighting for best of the rest, and that's where him and Fernando very much are at the moment.
And with his team 3 points ahead of Aston Martin, 6 in the Constructors' Championship, these points really, really precious with this and just 2 more races remaining this season. Talking of Aston Martin, driver of the day in the last 2 races has been Sebastian Vettel. Ted's got some news on him.
Well, the other thing he's had to be doing in this race is manage his car's temperatures, Crofty. He's just had a team radio message to say to him, look, well done, Sebastian. You're on top of the situation now. It's not bad anymore, and other people are now getting into the same position. So you have him chasing that Ricciardo, Zhou Guanyu, Sebastian Vettel, Lance Stroll battle. They're all separated by a couple of seconds. And it's been
Dylan lost his brakes. Oh, I am missing some stuff, and Christopher Bell is the leader now. Leclerc's already exceeded limits. Bell, Blaney, Elliott. Oh, Denny's in 4th. Denny's in 4th. Oh.
A bit of a sparring match going on in the boxing ring where basically they're not
Battery 46. Oh.
game and they're waiting for the race to unravel.
It's no good. Well, if it's just a big breakaway at the front, I could stop streaming once I get under 20.
It's a birthday weekend that Lance Stroll might not want to remember, quite frankly.
What I can do is check it out. I can. Are you kidding me? This still won't reach? Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. If you guys like staring at whatever might be up there.
Do you get the feeling he might not be the only driver saying that? It's not a grip track necessarily there, is it?
I have to sit over here now in order to see what's going on. This is weird. I never put my tripod over here. It's also higher up too. I could raise my chair if I want, though. I mean, I already have today, I think. I don't know if we can go anywhere. No. Oh, they're gonna. Oh, Jerry, you might want to give that one back.
Yeah. Yeah. He took it off the road.
I was going to say, you sure about that?
He sent him almost to the shadow realm. I mean, they were on the edge of falling into the shadow realm.
Off the road, you're obliged to give the place back again if you have gained that place. And well, he quite clearly gained the place. As Lance Stroll turned in, it was Pierre Gasly's car. Force me one.
Yeah, Pierre hadn't got full control of his car, locked up, and there was racing cars with on the inside. So
Fantastic job by Pierre Gasly to slow the car down.
We'll see that Pierre Gasly is still ahead of Lance Stroll.
Waiting for a 5-second time penalty.
Starting to gain, as you can see on Max Verstappen here.
Just need to try and break this toe, Max. Doing a great job.
And using the toe to great effect. He's already a 10th ahead on this lap.
So that was 2 laps ago, but I find that a very interesting and telling and unsurprising message, because on those medium compact tyres, Mercedes and particularly Lewis Hamilton hanging on beautifully with a much bigger window of opportunity on those tyres in terms of when they have to pit.
Let's head down to you.
No doubt about it, Martin. Yeah, Lewis Hamilton's medium tyres right now, absolutely beautiful. They're a lovely race tyre for this Mercedes at the moment. And we'll see what they do at the first stops. But I think 1 lap more at 15, and the pit window for the soft tyres is going to open. Of course, Max Verstappen wants to get it as long as he can. He wants to build more of a gap, the 1.6 seconds to Lewis Hamilton. But can he then get to lap 20? That would be optimum for the soft tyre. Get around lap 20. You've got lots of options for the rest of the race.
Verstappen's just set best lap of the race. He was about 200ths of a second quicker than Lewis Hamilton managed on that last lap. They are pretty much identical pace, but the Red Bull on the soft tyre, Mercedes on the medium tyre. We're on board now.
Yeah, Mercedes is gonna. Lewis Hamilton's gonna win this race. Unless being fresh tires gives Verstappen enough of an edge.
And if Albon gets past Stroll, if he gets past Stroll, and Gasly has to give the place back, he's in double trouble then.
And he's going to have another go going into turn 4 in a moment. I'm surprised there hasn't been a decision. They've had over a lap to look at this one, and it took you, Martin Brundle, about 1/100th of a second to make your adjudication. As here goes Alex Albon looking to get past Lance Stroll, nothing doing there. And now the stewards are having a look at it. So it's been passed to the race stewards.
Yeah, I'm not a race steward. They've got shed load more information than I've got, but that's I call these things live, and that's how I saw it.
Verstappen fast lap of the Grand Prix.
I think there'll be many people disagreeing with you, to be fair, but you know, stewards are now having a little look at it. What happens?
Maybe he is fast enough to hang on. I want Mercedes only win to be with George Russell. I don't want Lewis Hamilton to win.
The police, they're the officials. How it works within that setup.
And if Gasly does have to give the place back, if he has to give it back, he's then got to somehow...
I don't even know why. I think it's just because I don't like Lewis Hamilton at all, and I never have. Even though I've been a Mercedes fan until I was tired of Mercedes winning everything. I still never liked Lewis. I always rooted for Nico over him.
Surprised to hear that, actually. Yeah.
You might hear it now.
I'm struggling out with the bad signal. It's difficult to write the code.
Okay, copy.
Lance Stroll defending against Alex Albon once again. I think it's not Hamilton yet, Martin. It's no stopping Verstappen time, because he's just loosened the rein touch on that Red Bull and has put in the fastest lap of the race. I think a pit stop might be imminent down at Red Bull.
Yeah, it's that sort of zone of the race, Crofty, where the red mark soft tyres will be crying enough, and I think bouncing probably the pulsing as well, just creeping in. We're on board, hearing the cars scuffing down the racetrack at the end of the straight when they're under maximum load and they're closest to the ground.
We're on route to turn 12.
Denny Hamlin losing a spot. Oh no,
And Lance Stroll
it still
ahead of him.
plays.
Stroll, doing a bit of ERS, energy recovery system deployment down the straight to help with the top speed.
Went into picture-in-picture mode. I accidentally clicked the Twitter notification, but it's all fine.
On this particular moment, as the speed ramps up, you'll see that gap between Aston Martin and the Williams closed by 3/10, and then another
Oh,
3/10.
here comes Alex. Oh,
Well, needed another,
never mind. Here not comes Alex.
Well, there's no point in defending fresh air. You know, you've got to read whether you think the driver behind you will get enough speed and if he'll lunge hard enough when he gets not stay on the racing line way faster.
And this pretty much the closest battle off track at the moment. FIA stewards have adjudicated. Albon trying to go around turn 6, nothing doing there. Pierre Gasly is going to get a 5-second time penalty for forcing another driver off the track. So maybe he should have just given place back because it wouldn't have cost him quite so much.
Well, he's gained 2.5 seconds on Stroll already, and that means he then wouldn't get in this play. So actually, that's a positive solution, I think. Gasly there, 5 seconds is 5 seconds, but handing the place back.
Yeah, but when Gasly has to pit, all that to get out of this is gonna go to waste. And now, not only is he gonna have to catch this mess, he's also going to have to go through it again.
Second penalty in that race, not serving the first penalty, probably in the pit. You wait for 5 seconds, but they didn't. They waited for 4.4 seconds for the rear wheels, and 4.8 seconds before the front wheels. So that penalty promptly this time around. As Lance Stroll there makes the first pit stop in this race.
I think that somebody track limits things. There's a lot of things not going particularly good at the moment. I think that everything's being policed really closely, so we get straightforward, honest racing. Yeah, I mean, he even straightened the steering wheel up.
Yeah.
If you watch Pierre's steering wheel, he opened the wheel back up. So that is.
He never had an intention to make the corner.
Out in front.
He's like Max Verstappen. That's what happens when you're the Red Bull sister team. You turn into Max Verstappen. Never had the intention of making the corner. There's someone to his outside that he needs to wipe out first.
To build himself a bit of a margin before we get to the pit stops.
This feels to me that Ferrari have got the motor turned down, the power unit turned down.
Consider plans to be careful with traffic with that plan.
Yeah, pitting a little bit earlier.
That's a two-stop then.
Cars,
If they're really that concerned about traffic, that must be a two-stopper.
Yeah, what he's reacting to is he can barely see the top four as he comes onto one of the longest straights in Formula One. I think they must have that turned down for reliability, cooling, what have you, because they're not at the races.
Well, they're not. 1:24.2 on his last.
Oh no, we need Denny Hamlin to get taken out
3-2 for Max Verstappen.
because of Chastain.
1:23.9. George Russell, the car ahead of him, and a long way ahead of him.
Or no, we just need Bell to lose the lead. Come on, Chase. Today's your day to lead and win and do all that good stuff. Besides, last time you won it, the only time you've ever won a championship before you won Martinsville too. Keep the trend alive. Hopefully.
So it's a 4-horse race now, and they're coming at it 2 by 2 in a completely different way, aren't they?
Yeah.
With the soft and mediums. And this is going to be intriguing. So which way is the right way to go? And we know that the Red Bull has got about a 4km/h head start in terms of absolute top speed and the pit straight. So it should be easier for them to overtake the Mercedes if they have to, than the Mercedes to overtake the Red Bull on this long pit straight.
Sebastian Vettel wanted a bit of a toe, but then needed some cool air. That's why he moved over to the right-hand side behind Joe Guan Yu. He's slowly but surely gaining on the Alfa Romeo once again.
This race starting off a lot like last week. Lots of hype, but not much early on.
Ricardo's former teammate,
Wind probably ain't going to matter because it's like they're essentially in space given altitude. So, what today will send somebody into the gravel trap in about 5 laps, 10 laps time to really kick it all off? Guess we'll see.
Then harvesting, I talked about it on the grid. If you lift early, coast, and then brake late, you've got less opportunity to harvest and fill your battery pack back up. So they're really managing the car at this phase. It's a 71 lap race, so you know, we've not even made third distance.
So quite clear loss of pace from Verstappen. It won't be long before this stop. It might go very long. 1:23.6 on the last lap. Hamilton was a couple of tenths faster than that lap. He was a tenth up on particular. George Russell has just set his personal best, first sector 2. And we're getting to the stage now where Verstappen is starting to really struggle with those tyres, I wonder.
Yeah, and putting back between the Ferraris probably if he pits now, possibly ahead of Sainz, but they want to try and clear the Ferraris before they hit him. But this is where it starts coming. This phase starts coming towards Mercedes.
Yeah, I think if they could go another lap, Red Bull, then they should definitely clear Charles Leclerc, but they'll be behind Carlos Sainz.
Yeah.
They don't want to come out behind Leclerc. That's one overtake more than they really need.
But I think doing the right thing against Mercedes is more important than trying to pass Ferrari if required, I would say.
But the indication there from George Russell's race engineer Riccardo Mosconi was that you'll go long here. So it is a case of Mercedes employing not team orders, but a strategic, we're going to make you go long, because that gives us the best chance of a victory. You can be a real roadblock around that.
Yeah, and maybe they could put a set of soft tyres on at the end. And of course, I think a set of soft tyres on towards the end of the race.
The tire deck doesn't exist.
And the track rubber
It just straight up doesn't exist.
you can make them last longer, so it's not out of the question. Was the hard tyre, there's been really quite a defined speed difference.
This race is a one-stopper, no doubt about it.
Some racetracks, so the hard is durable, but not really very fast.
Sorry.
You can see the front tyres angry, the surface of the front tyres angry there for Max Verstappen.
So let's head down to 10 with some more information. So that 22, he's made it 2 laps further than that match lap 20 as Max Verstappen. They're doing a very good job managing these tyres, only losing a tenth, maybe a couple of tenths per lap to Hamilton when the Mercedes has been quicker. But he's been really mitigating that time loss, so he's done a great job on these tyres. I'm just watching down towards the end of the plate, see if Red Bull are out yet. No, they're not.
George is not catching Perez, but not losing.
He said to Simon, we're willing to do anything. We don't mind which driver, and we'll sacrifice. We're happy to sacrifice one. And Hamilton or Russell, make sure we try and win this race. Bear that in
I'm
mind.
good with Bill winning, just Rothstein needs to do better.
Winless season for Mercedes 2011.
It's a NASCAR race. I don't want Denny to go.
And they could
Denny to this point where it's just funny that he hasn't won a championship. I think it needs to stay. Nothing against Denny. I just want to keep him alive, and I feel it would die out if he were to actually win a championship. You know? Because then all that throwing it away and choking it all earlier in his career would all kind of mean nothing because he achieved that goal.
More and more grainy, and it slowing down becomes an issue as well. Red Bull are preparing, but
They're coming out.
Red Bull are in the pit lane now.
Yeah, we can see them coming out, and it's for Sergio
Perez.
not for Max Verstappen. So, is that a case of, well, we'll rush out into the pit lane, maybe try and put Mercedes into it, or was Perez struggling more than his teammates?
I'd be surprised if Mercedes react too quickly to it because they've got
They're just going with Perez as their number one driver today.
That's a slow left rear, slow one. That's a painful pit stop for Sergio Perez and Red Bull.
But it's over now. It's over. His race is cost. Russell probably will get in front of him now.
For Sergio Perez. Comes out onto the racetrack, 24.8 seconds in the pit lane, 5 seconds stationary.
And of course, what Red Bull will now get is brilliant data from those medium tyres that can help make the choice for Max Verstappen.
If they've got long enough, he is behind both Ferrari, but a good way behind. So it's there for some reason wouldn't come off. Release off.
Checo Perez, who has benefited from 5 of the 6 fastest pit stops in 2022, and the fastest 9 pit stops by Red Bull, gets one of their slowest at a weekend that he could have done without that.
So plan B then, Checo Perez. Sergio Perez has just been told by his team, which presumably means 2 stop up, who knows.
Push like crazy, potentially, for Sergio Perez. Nicholas Latifi comes into the pits for Williams as well, and out in front, the gap 1.7 seconds between Verstappen and Hamilton. It's just coming down a couple of tenths per lap, and that I'm sure will suit Mercedes down the ground. And gaining all the time though.
Tyres are okay. Copy.
Lewis, no. You're not allowed to say that your tires are fine. This isn't.
Yeah, as you can see across the, it's got that
This isn't. No. No.
There's a bit of marking up. Nothing like
It's not supposed to happen. What happened to my tires are dead every 5 seconds? Where'd that radio message go? Where'd the one that I enjoyed go? Mercedes, what have you done to your car? And now it's Max who says that.
He really wants to come in. You can kind of sense that in Max's voice at the moment. He is very nearly a pit stop ahead of Carlos Sainz.
Switch teams and balance would be restored.
At the moment, he was 21.2 seconds behind Verstappen at the end of the last lap. Perez just set the fastest first sector we've seen so far. Not surprising on a brand new set with the medium compound tyres. Is Verstappen about to come in? I think he is, you know, because the Red Bull pit crew have now just rushed out into the pit lane. So our leader,
Here comes Max. Let's get another bad stop. Why not?
will be keeping their fingers crossed that he's not going to be stationary for 5 seconds like his teammate. Hamilton moved into the lead. Medium compound tyres go on.
Oh, that was good.
And away goes Verstappen. Carlos Sainz is just making his way around turn 16. We're on board with Verstappen at 80 kilometres about to leave the pit lane. Sainz is making his way over the start finish.
It's going to be close.
This is going to be really, really tight as Verstappen now gets his
Verstappen ahead.
Team have done a very good job to get Verstappen in. Gets out ahead of the Ferrari.
Yeah, he was slightly long on his marks, but they did him a lovely 2.5 second stop anyway. And as you say, that's done a treat in terms of traffic. Because Perez has still got to clear both Ferraris.
Let's just see what we can do on this tyre, Lewis. We're still target +6.
So whatever they set Lewis Hamilton for a lap that he was going to come in for his pit stop, they think they can go 6 laps longer now, given the pace that he's been putting in and the condition of those tyres.
Because they've got data, temperature coming off the tyres, back to the pit wall, back to the garage, back to the factory in England. They know how much rubber's left on those tyres.
We're on board now with the Red Bull behind Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez, and I'm hearing that he's got no DRS, and that's not the first time this weekend he's had DRS.
That's not convenient.
Yesterday, of course, he was having a lot of electrical issues. He's got DRS this time around, and he's going to try and put it to good use to get past Charles Leclerc coming into turn 12, and Leclerc closes the door on him, and this is now Perez getting held up by the Ferrari.
And when he lost DRS yesterday, he also lost a lot of information from his dashboard, so hopefully that's not repeating itself there for Sergio in terms of his lap time deltas and all sorts of other information. He was driving blind to an extent, but let's see if he can get the wing open down here. This is an important time for his race.
So he's gaining. I'm thinking he has got DRS as he gets past Charles Leclerc with that extra 12 miles an hour. Listen to that.
Yep. Perez's DRS is back, I guess, out of the blue.
Absolutely love that. Perez, a keen football fan
Russell
himself, of course, moves himself
needs to gain
into fifth place
5.4 seconds, but he is reeling in Lewis
out in front to Mercedes,
slightly.
123 and 123. So 123.
As I say that, he lost the 2 tenths that I saw him gain over the last lap.
Still maintaining a very good pace.
Bell is still leading this thing.
Sergio Perez and the subsequent reaction.
Yeah, and if he 2 stops, we'll see more of that when we review through the afternoon. But that also means he can push like crazy on this set of tyres.
Lewis Hamilton, waited a while this season to lead the race. And like the proverbial Steve, the last two have come at once for him. He's now leading second race in a row. If you're just joining us back in the UK, the Republic of Ireland, if you're a Sky Q and a Sky Glass customer and you want to see what's happened in this race so far, well, press your red button. You can watch highlights of this race alongside the live action. Is that just a little bit slow on the upshift, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's a seamless shift given, so you can still feel them to an extent, but there's obviously a tiny lag in that really shows up in the cockpit. So whether it's shifting up or down, I don't know.
Corner rester, Sky Race Control.
Yeah, I'm just watching these overlays, Crofty. If Perez gets himself track position on Hamilton, I know he was slower in the pit stop, but he gets track position, it's very hard to overtake. That could impact the Mercedes. Get by him and then getting onto Verstappen, so it could be Abu Dhabi all over again, where he plays his part and just helping him win.
Yes,
Not the other way, what we're predicting coming into the weekend.
Still haven't got to finish.
He was having a few of those in qualifying yesterday too. It's the often overlooked part of Abu Dhabi last year, how Sergio Perez, Martin, defended so brilliantly.
That is overlooked. I forgot that happened. I forgot Perez was like
But there's not much good news out there from the drivers.
that.
They're unhappy with shifts and engines and tyres.
So what would you do if you're Mercedes now? You're about 6 seconds ahead of Sergio Perez, and if you pit Lewis Hamilton now, he comes the Red Bull will be a problem to him. If you leave it pace Perez going, then he is going to be a bit of a blockage for a while. Or do you just keep going as long as possible before Perez potentially has to pit again?
See what Bernie Eccleston did a few decades ago.
Ferrari, Leclerc in the pits.
Race is over, let them sort it out after that.
Charles Leclerc comes in. 2.3 second time for him. Alonso, Bottas, Ocon and Norris make their way past him down the straight. Tsunoda and Ricciardo are the next cars to come down the straight. And has he got there ahead? He hasn't. He's got ahead of Joe New though, as we see his team now. Sergio Perez for company. This is quite a crucial part of the race. How long can that Ferrari hold up the Red Bull?
Yes, and the Red Bulls are flying on these fresh medium compound tyres.
Hamilton's boxing.
I'd say Mercedes are going to have to react to that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, track position.
Russell caught him by a second in like the last 4 laps.
As Ben pointed out earlier on, against Perez as well. While he's touched
So what tires do Hamilton go on to?
mediums again on the Mercedes.
He's doing a 2-stopper.
So we watch from the front wing of Sergio Perez. Hamilton was stationary for 3.3 seconds.
This could go well if Russell could get the pace and they keep him out on a 1-stop strategy.
Comes up to the track. Now, we couldn't really tell very clearly, Martin, because it was a picture-in-picture. But is that the hard compound tyre that's gone on to Lewis Hamilton?
It is. Problems for Sainz. Yep. Caught the back end of a bad Ferrari pit stop again.
So Hamilton has gone on to the hard compound tyre.
It could be better, but it could be worse. I guess 3.5.
But let's see how that one plays out then. So he can now push to the end of the Grand Prix.
So the theory is then, with Hamilton coming out.
It's been a good ascent.
So Hamilton's lost time through the first round of pit stops, or potentially the only pit stops between himself and Max Verstappen. But is the feeling from Mercedes that we can go hard, we can keep the pace, and we'll have...
Oh wait, he's on hard. Oh, I wasn't thinking that. Okay, this is Lewis's time.
Being that roadblock for his teammate, I wonder. It didn't go on that front right, did it?
No, he wasn't offered up at 90 degrees, was it?
Certainly wasn't. Perez now free from behind Carlos Sainz, is starting to bang in the quick lap times once again. There he is, behind Lewis Hamilton. And this is another key stage of the race here. How long does it take those hard
Perez fastest lap. I could see Perez or Russell winning this thing.
Perez now improving
I think Hamilton just threw it away on the hard tires, and I think
20
Max,
seconds behind Russell.
I don't know, I think this geared. I could see him winning.
Maintains track
But
position
Perez is
ahead of
fast.
Russell, but Russell's building himself some nice options there as we head towards half distance.
Yeah, don't afraid at all. This is Charles Leclerc, where he had a moment
Whoa.
in practice and then he had another moment there. Didn't cost him with a trip into the barrier on this occasion. Difficult when it starts.
That was earlier in the corner that he wrecked earlier in the week. He did that like twice yesterday, didn't he? Didn't he do that in the warm-up laps today too?
Russell hasn't pitted yet. Hamilton has, Verstappen has, Hamilton has, and Perez has. Fernando Alonso yet to pit, same as Valtteri Bottas at 6.
JJ Yaley brings out the caution.
So we need to go very long to make that work.
All right, Russell wants the one stop to softs.
He's got himself a little buffer before Verstappen gets on the seat.
It's probably George's best roll of the dice, isn't it? That he's sort of pinned into fourth at the moment. So he's saying, let's try something different.
Lando Norris under pressure from Carlos Sainz. Looks again at Charles Leclerc, who's currently in 10th place. So down the straight he goes, Daniel Ricciardo, the car in front of him. And having pitted, Leclerc on pressure tyres made easy work of that. And into the pits now comes Lando Norris. Let's head down to the pit and take rabbits.
And that's because while there was briefly a Ferrari sandwich between two McLarens, McLaren could see with Lando Norris he's going to get passed by Carlos Sainz very quickly. So rather than just being Car Lando, Mark 53, they decided to box Lando. It's the hard tyres. It's the hard tyres. So they needed that data point. They had the data point from Nicholas Latifi, who was on hards. Then they saw Lewis Hamilton fit the hards, and McLaren have decided that's the tyre for them as well to keep their options open.
I'm looking at the timing screens here, and while Sergio Perez is definitely enjoying a faster stint of the race for him, Lewis Hamilton is now pretty much matching Max Verstappen lap after lap.
This might not be over.
Seems to be okay on the hot tire.
Yeah, I think we had a quick of any time. That is good today. Come on. Rather thinking that the hard tyre here, Martin, might after all be a very good tyre to have gone on to. Hamilton's actually just gone a tenth of a second quicker than Verstappen on the last lap.
That's good information. The information probably George Russell would want. You definitely want Fernando in your gang, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Definitely. He's up for it. He's saying, hey, give me what you like. I'll put the wheels off this thing for you.
So George Russell out in front. What does he do? Does he just carry on and then go to the top?
Hey, good safety car. This thing.
Stop now. If he did, he'd come out behind Sergio Perez, and we'd have fresher tyres than Perez towards the end of the race to try and onto the podium. Probably wouldn't be winning the race if he pits now.
Oh boy.
The race if he stays out there a bit longer, and certainly if he does stay out there a little bit longer and Verstappen up for a couple of laps, he's helping his teammate a bit more.
Yeah. And maybe that'd be a play for Mercedes-Benz at the moment, but if he's going to be pinned in the 1 minute 23s, I don't think that's fast enough to carry those, another 20 laps, shall we say.
On board then with Sergio Perez, who's around about 2 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton. These two have
We're pretty much at halfway.
the circuit Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, as they did last year. Hamilton finishing second and Perez coming home to finish third. And once more it's Hamilton ahead of Sergio Perez. There's a bit of a gap from Perez back down to Fernando Alonso, about 16 seconds. Bottas still behind Alonso, but still running a terrific race. He really is. Esteban Ocon, nicely in the points currently. They've got a pit. Sainz and Leclerc have pitted. Ricciardo, Joe, Vettel, Gasly, Albon yet to pit. Norris and Tsunoda have. Magnussen hasn't. Lance Stroll was the first to come in, and now Esteban Ocon.
Elliott down in third again.
Pit lane, so what we assume would be
After
a
the
second
stops, Bell's still leading with Blaney on the front row.
That's the C2 tyre. Get back into this race again, and when he comes out onto the track,
God, there's a big restart coming up for NASCAR, and meanwhile here I am just watching a strategy play out over the next hour and a half.
No, he's not going fast enough, is he? Unfortunately, so this is now a better bet for him, but he's got him a little bit further, so his hard will be.
George is in early.
They do that unless you're going to two-stop him. Will be a bit fresher. But he's now he's a little bit mid-strategy here, isn't he? Yeah. That's hard.
But it certainly seemed decent enough. 2.7 seconds.
fast in that.
Yeah, Hamilton crosses the line. Perez crosses the line and come out behind these two. It's a nice clean air, actually. There's
George has a long gap to make up.
once again with Red Bull from Mercedes, from Mercedes. That's George Russell not having problems with his steering, but trying to warm his tyres up. Get some,
So why'd he switch strategies? That's my question. I don't see this working.
That plays into Russell's hands, but as I say, the Red Bull is mighty fast in a straight line.
So Max Verstappen stopped on lap 25.
Okay, Max, the soft stint where life was no concern at all.
So if you need to go back onto them again, you could so comfortably get the times you wanted. Soft stint where life no concern at all.
So it was the graining that was hurting it, not just running out of, not the cliff as we used to call it, a lot more, but just running out of tyre tread before. It was the graining that was hurting it, not its absolute life, as it were.
So that's the case with the softs. Will it be the same with the mediums? And if it might grain up, that's one thing, but it's not going to wear too much, so you could go to the end. And if you do, well, Lewis Hamilton's got 4 laps fresher tyres than you have. He's on the hard, and you're on the medium. Last lap,
I don't know. I kind of want to see this restart for NASCAR. Surely nobody else will mind. Just pop it on for a second here. It's probably a commercial break. Watch this. No, it's not. Come on, Ross. Come on.
Hamlin running pretty good currently in 6th before the choose. Chastain running in 11th before the choose. So this is going to come right down to the wire.
And these numbers would change if Bell is not leading or if Blaney
Oh boy.
those two
101 to go.
If those two are leading, then this is the way the numbers will shake out. Dylan.
And for the first time all day, they've told Ross Chastain exactly what the numbers are. They kind of just had him afloat of where everybody else was, but under this yellow, they said...
How is Chase only 14 points to the good after how many points he's already gotten today? Running in 3rd.
We got to beat the 11 for sure, Dave.
Then Hamlin lost 2 more spots on pit road that time. I just had a direct conversation with Chris Gabehart. I asked, are you guys struggling, or are you just getting beat by better stops? He said, it was just slow. Well, there you go. It was just slow.
Well, look, we also talk about pit stop location. The 11 is right in the middle of the straightaway. This has evolved. When I was down there, it wasn't a lot of timelines. Where the 11 was pitting was really pretty good because you kind of accelerate in, accelerate out. We just showed what the 12's doing. You know, have other teams found a way to kind of find an advantage on pit road, or is it the pit stop in general for the 11? I will tell you one thing. This single lug, I watched it for an entire year, and still my internal timing isn't quite down to a 10-second pit stop yet. It's hard to
Still not restarting this thing. Come on, I want to get back to F1 here. I mean, I know George's race just went out the window because they abandoned the soft tire strap, but still. I think Mercedes lost this race because they weren't on the same strategy as Red Bull.
Track position, then you lose a little bit more, and it becomes that much more difficult to get done. And now he's in this tight point battle. Only 2 points to the good for Chastain. I mean, every position matters, and at some point, we have another pit stop. That team is going to have to step it up. And can Chastain take advantage of it? Can his pit crew step it up and have a great pit stop? Can Chastain have a great restart?
Yeah.
You said it earlier, Junior. He's going to have to do some things he's not comfortable with. I think he's comfortable doing a lot of stuff.
I was wondering, the opportunity here is going to be in the choose. That might present some opportunity on this restart for him to do some things depending on where
All right, let's see. Blaney outside, Elliott back to the inside. Bubba just chose the top. How much you wanted that? That was straight up solely to help Benny. This is going to be interesting.
We've talked about it. They have to hit each other harder to move out of the way. They have to do things differently. Or even 3 wide. You're going to have to do some things that are absolutely going to infuriate people. Let's listen to some in-car radio. So he's got a clear information on what he needs to do.
This could get interesting.
Right out in front of him.
98, 7 to go. Chase got a good launch.
There you see it. inside, blocked by Cole Custer. Everybody trying to get to the bottom of the racetrack. A lot of contact on this inside lane. Everyone trying to get in the same line.
Oh boy, they stacking it up.
Outside to take advantage of that. As the inside line checks up, Kevin Harvick and the 14, all those guys making up spots. Moving forward.
And that pushes the one of Ross Chastain further back. So it's once again back to 6 spots, 6 points, separating the 11 and the 1.
Oh, that's going to help Ross because of Briscoe. Oh, Briscoe got back in. Lucky. Oh, Harvick just sent him. Harvick just sent William. No way, this is going to be the... There's no way Byron versus Harvick is going to be the fight. I mean, Chase versus Kevin... See that happening, but William Byron... Sure, that's reasonable. Ugh. Well, I'm done with that one, so I'm just going to do a normal reaction video now. So I'm going to end the stream.